Does your family know what your research is about?
Yeah, I have explained my thesis to my parents so many times.
I've tried explaining to them, but I don't know.
Even if I try to make it like sound fancy or simple and fancy, they end up saying the same thing. Yeah, you make maps. That's it.
If you are in geosciences, this may hit close to home. And if you're new to the field, consider it as a warning of what's to come. It is quite problematic though. Not just because your dad might nod off during your defense, or because your mom might struggle to brag about how you're making a true difference in this world. There's a lot more at stake.
Often with science, it kind of stays in this ivory tower, but it doesn't really get on the ground to the people who maybe need it the most. And if scientists can communicate findings a little bit better, I think it can empower communities that would not be able to access that information before.
I think entrepreneurs as well could use many things that people are already using or discovered, but no one knows about it because it's just in the scientific field.
And even if your main ambition is to write papers, mastering the skill of making yourself understood to non-tech people is going to help you in the academic community as well.
Someone is paying for all of your salary and research materials. And donors would rather have someone they invest in that is able to upfront be able to articulate it in such a way that they could also justify giving the money to you, to their colleagues, or any critical ice prying.
One exercise that Valentijn employs to teach aspiring scientists this crucial skill is taking his students on a bus tour to meet local, non-tech entrepreneurs who could be helped by Geosciences.
Trying to help these entrepreneurs and people who are not academics, you kind of have to explain things without using jargon.
From conversations with brewers to winemakers and bakers. They gave it a shot and now they're sharing their experiences with you to give you a head start in making yourself and your research understood. I'm curious what they found to be a suitable approach.
Pretending like as if you're talking or explaining something to like a 10-year-old.
Just not getting shy about the whole topic, or not getting awkward that you can't really explain something well. Try another run or another way of explaining things.
Let's be real, most scientists are not very comfortable in large social public settings. So let's start small and let's start with someone you trust. For you to make your first steps into this direction. Once you've done that, you can then tell it to the angry uncle in your family or the critical grandmother. So taking small steps in incremental steps.
Often listening is quite a big important aspect of the talking with these people.
You have to be a very good listener and a very good observer.
I mean, sometimes they do understand some things and not some specifics or details, and if you figure it out what they don't understand, you can just explain that.
As contradictory as it may sound, pitching starts with listening. What challenges are pressing in your audience's lives? What's on their minds? Find ways to relate your work to their lived experience. What would our world gain from having everyone master the skill?
Maybe a farmer can take up GIS and start learning about it and not even just ask for help. That is something that would happen only if more people would just voice out and say, I can help with this and you can learn it and help yourself.
What message do you want to leave for those watching this video?
If anybody would see this, then I would urge you guys, just try to communicate about your research with people. Let them know what you do. You never know, anybody next to you could have a problem that you can easily help them with your skills in GIS, because it's a vast field with a lot of possibilities.
One last thing I'm curious about.
Yeah?
Did you find out a new way to tell your parents instead of I make maps?
Definitely. Maybe instead of just explaining to them with words, I might just ask them, do you have a problem that I can solve you with? Maybe I can tell you what I do and help you solve your problem. So pragmatic explanations rather than just using words, I think.